Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
All right, hello. We're live
Hello.
for the second time this week.
The second time.
Are you tired of me yet?
Fuck yeah.
Especially when you play me in Connect 4.
Oh my God. Okay, see this is exactly what I was talking about last week or the earlier this week when I was talking about the checkers game.
Mm-hmm.
Um and uh so you are one of the smartest people I know, and I failed miserably.
It's one game. We played one game.
No, but you're very smart. Okay? And um and it's very apparent when when one is playing Connect 4 with Ryan J. Durbin to realize how intelligent he is by how like calculated he is. And like in this scenario, I'm the dumb one, right? But like I don't know any other scenario, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Tammy. Okay, Tammy just jumped on the bed and then he fell off. Um, and so yeah, anyway, that's all I'm saying.
I love Connect 4. I feel like I said that I was good at it. So,
You definitely said that.
yeah. And I was telling
Yes.
Becca, I don't hold back when we play the nieces and nephews at games like that. Like, I'll definitely want to play Connect 4 because I'm gonna beat your ass. Even if you're like 8 years old. I don't care.
Right.
They need to earn that win. Sometimes Rachel will play with them, so like I'm kind of like I've got one kid in my lap, and I'm kind of telling them like, "Hey, put it here. Hey, put it here." And then Rachel's got a kid in her lap, and she's like, "Hey, put it here. Put it here." So we're kind of playing against one another, but the kids feel involved. But
Yeah.
that's fun. I'll just
Can
run through
Rachel
like
beat you at
12 to
Connect
15 games.
4?
She can, but I've kind of got to be not paying attention a little bit. Like one of those things where you just miss some of the basic things when you
Yeah,
play
yeah,
so
yeah.
many times that you're like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing, and then you just forget something easy.
Well, I unfortunately have played Connect 4 with two people that are very good at Connect 4 in the last week, you and Andrew from Speedball.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, so I am a Connect 4 failure.
Do they have little games and stuff in? I feel like it would be kind of cool to have that in like a break room or something to have something like that.
Wouldn't that be nice? I know, I'm gonna start bringing a deck of cards so that I'm gonna teach him gin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Doing good. Not much has changed since 2 days ago, but I just got a whole bunch of new espresso mugs handled last night, which is nice.
Mm,
They're drying out, so we'll get those in the kiln. I got a bunch unloaded this week. So we're getting ready for my show this weekend. And yeah, kind of like I'm kind of dwindling down the need to be throwing new things. So I'm kind of like, what do I need to be doing? What can I catch up on with? I'm still like packing orders and things like that, but the need to make new things is not really necessary on December
right.
4th as of where we're at with shows and everything for the rest of the year. But yeah, it gives me flexibility with oh, I should probably clean the studio some or um do some things with I think we're gonna do some things with the glazed bucket area or something, or organizing that a little bit better, or cleaning up the basement or whatever to make it a little bit more organized. But yeah, nothing much changed in the last couple days. What's new with you since Tuesday?
Well, the kittens had their first live animal activity, and today I actually kind of thought that Tammy was like lost or something because typically Tammy meets me at my car because he's a dog. And so like I pull up, he meets me at the car, he meows, and then I open the door and then he gets in the car. And then Timmy, who cannot jump into the car, uh puts his paws on me so that I can pick him up and be in the car. Well, Timmy did that, but Tammy wasn't there, and I like immediately went into the van and got under my blankets because it's fucking cold. And I was like, "Where the fuck is Tammy?" And so I go outside, and they are just playing their hardest out in the field. And I like walk up there, and there's a fucking mole rat thing.
Well, you said vole. You thought it might be a vole.
It might be a vole, but it was bigger than a vole. That's the thing. It wasn't small. It was like
And
the
it didn't look like it
size,
had a tail, so
it
that
was the
should.
body size of a rat. It looked like a badger, and it had a tiny tail. So I was like, I don't fucking know what this shit is. Um, Maybe I can Google it.
I don't think that looked like a vole. Maybe
It didn't. It didn't look like a vole.
because
That's
the
what I
the
don't.
voles kind of look like mice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodent,
What about like a mole,
rat,
an actual mole?
size. No way. Moles are bigger than that, aren't they?
I don't know.
Slow, small tail. Huh. The short-tailed pouch rat are
Short-tailed.
small and thick set, weighing about 75 grams, 2.6 ounces, and having bodies up to 18 centimeters long and much shorter tails. Both species are soft-furred, nocturnal, and slow-moving. I'm gonna go see if I can find a picture. Oh,
What's it called?
oh no. Nope, wasn't that. It's not that. Not that.
Look up a mole.
Um,
Maybe it's a mole. I don't know.
it's not a mole. I don't think it's a mole.
They have some crazy fingers on them.
I feel like
They're pretty
rats in
ugly.
North America's. Hello, I want to see the rat in North America. Maybe I should look up North Carolina rodents.
I feel like you could probably take a photo of it and ask somebody at work or
I could, but it's not dead. So,
you could probably just
anyway, that was the
video on that video. I'm sure somebody maybe will reply to your video and tell you what it looks like.
I think it was this. Wait, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, the cats didn't eat it. They were just playing with it. They kept batting at it. Not batting at it, but like pouncing on it.
Uh-huh.
And it was almost like it is a vole. It's a fucking vole. Okay, it's a vole. Wait, I don't know. There's Norway rats in North Carolina? Groundhogs. It wasn't a Norway rat. That's scary as fuck looking. Um, it wasn't a roof rat. It wasn't a gray squirrel. Wow, there's not very many rodents here. It was 100% a vole.
Short-tailed shrew?
Um, Ooh, a short-tailed shrew. What's a shrew?
Shrew. Shrew.
Shrew. Shrew. No, because he didn't have a pointy nose, and those are fucking tiny as shit. It was oh,
All
it was
right.
a
Well,
vole. It was a vole.
just a
Um,
big vole.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. What was in Indiana last year? Because that apparently wasn't a vole. Oh. Okay, short-tailed shrew is what was in Indiana. A meadow vole is what was outside.
Mm, okay.
Oh well, now I feel dumb for saying that Lloyd was a vole catcher. He was actually a short-tailed shrew catcher. Um, you know. But I don't
He's
know if
a rodent catcher.
he's a rodent catcher. And also, I don't know if I've told you this, but Tammy has a emotional support sponge that
A sponge.
I don't know where it came from. It is the size of a small plum. No.
Does he just
Maybe
carry it around with him in his mouth kind of thing?
yeah, like maybe a large grape. And he like brings it into the van and he plays with it and he takes it out and I don't know where it goes. And then like t 2 days later he brings it back and plays with it and then takes it out and then brings it back and takes it out. And it like he's playing with it right now and it's brown. It's not
At least
even
it's not a
like
dead mouse.
no, but it looks like a mouse. So
Mhm.
like because it's brown. But yeah, I don't even know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's a natural sponge. I don't know if it's a fucking synthetic sponge. I don't know where the fuck he got it. Like, but it has existed in our life for 2 months.
Hmm.
Okay?
It's not like a cattail or something from the plant.
I don't think so because I feel like it would have been disintegrated by then, don't you think?
Probably if he was biting on it and stuff, I feel like they're kind of flaky,
Yeah.
fall apart.
So, so anyway, yeah.
All right, emotional support sponge.
Yep. That's pretty much what's happening. Also, they have they have inventory tomorrow at Speedball, which I don't really know what that means. As far as like if they're hiring somebody or if they like have people do it or like, like do they hire an inventory company? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
I feel like you kind of hear that, oh, we're closed today because we're doing inventory. That's more like
yeah,
retail stores because
yeah,
they don't want anybody coming in and messing with what's coming in and going out. So
right.
I feel like you just stop everything and then each department does inventory.
Right.
I don't know.
So, like the people from paper moved over to Pack and Way. Apparently Pack and Way doesn't shut down. But shit. But the yeah, I don't actually know. But apparently we stop working at 2 and then we start cleaning, which nobody told me about this when I got hired. I
You're gonna have to
don't
clean.
I don't want to clean. I mean, I do. I'm fine with cleaning, but also
It's one day, right? You're not cleaning the rest. I mean,
no, it's only an
today's.
hour and 15 minutes. It's like literally um
I don't want to clean for an hour and 15 minutes.
but also I do think that they need to like take 3 days and have everybody clean the warehouse. You know, those like warehouses get so gross just existing. And
Yeah.
it would be nice if we just cleaned, like did a
S-
deep clean.
Yeah, since we started slipcasting, the floor is a lot dirtier. Just
Yeah.
be- just because like the amount of just dry clay bits that are on molds and things that don't always make it into buckets and yeah.
Yeah.
And it's white clay, the porcelain, so it's very noticeable.
Right. Oh, yeah. Such is life. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, we're continuing from last week.
Yes, our part two of our ChatGPT inspired question and answer episode,
Yes.
where we go through some questions that were suggested based on knowing what they know about Ryan and Becca from Wheel Talk and asking us some good stuff. And then there's a section that's kind of like I asked for some extra ones that were in certain categories. So we might pull some from those categories as well that could give us some insight as well. So we'll kind of see what we get
Yeah.
to. But last week we did 7 questions, and there was a little bit more discussion about some of them, and probably more questions in depth about some of like follow-up questions to some of them. But um, yeah, so this is gonna be a continuation of that, and we'll see what we get to. So, and we officially decided our if people are interested in the book club stuff and you are looking for what book we're gonna read next, we decided I don't see where the book is with me, but and now I need to look it up. Uh, it is
Well,
a
I'll talk about it while you're looking it up. Um, I don't know what it's called either, uh, but we are gonna try and get the author to have a podcast with us.
yes,
This means, this means there will be no shit talking of this book. Um, so
not
if that's
none. I mean, it's not about shit talking. It's being critical of like what resonated, what doesn't resonate, or
I'm
what applied.
talking about shit talking because me
Okay,
and Taylor do that. So,
okay. I generally stick away from the shit talking because I don't
right.
read enough to have enough shit to talk. So
Yeah, so me and Taylor do that and but we decided it would not be in good taste to shit and Taylor was like, "What if there's nothing to shit talk about?" And I was like, "There's always something to shit talk about." And but we felt like it would be in good taste not to shit talk. So if that's the only reason you listen to the book club episode, just be forewarned, you know.
yeah. So it is from Megan Allman, which I think I got introduced to her because I want to say Rebecca Graves does some like is friends with her or has worked with her before or like they're both into like business side of things. So Megan does a lot of books about wholesale and business and marketing and all these different things. So the book that we're going to read of hers is Try It and See, and then the subtext to that is how to get shit done with while overanalyzing everything. So I've
I
already
actually think it's probably going to be a good book.
yeah, I like it. I'm about halfway through and it's very easy to get through. It's not like a novel. It's it's very digestible and the chapters are pretty much what you see is what you get with how it's organized. So I'm liking it so far. Some of the chapters are like make money first, ship every day, organization is overrated, some things like that. So it's been good so far, and you can get it on her website. I think we could probably link it in our notes here if you want to look it up. But she's got a bunch of books on her website. I actually got one of the signed copies. They're very affordable. I got a signed copy for like $16. But she's
Oh,
got
you're
a.
reading it.
I'm actually reading the physical book. That's how easy this
Ryan, I
is.
didn't even know you could read.
Yes, I can read. Maybe not well, but I can read. And then there's
You
there's
know that
audiobook
my
versions. There's all kinds of other books that she's written about pricing and marketing and all these different things. So you can get it however you like to listen or read. And yeah, we're hoping to get Megan on the podcast. I haven't asked her officially yet, but I have a feeling she would be interested, especially since the section I just read of the book was saying other people have mentioned that you would be good to be on podcasts and host your own podcast, but she's like, I don't care about the technical side of it. I just want to talk about the business things and not have to worry about all that stuff. So I'll go on as many podcasts as possible to talk about those things and leave it to them to figure out the editing and technical stuff. So that makes me feel good that we can actually get her on.
yeah, damn. I mean, it's gonna be awesome, I think.
hmm
Um,
And she's a jewelry artist, so she's already kind of
yeah.
in the mix and like in the weeds with us as a maker. So, she's got that side of her business. She's got the book side of her business and online classes and things like that. So, yeah, we'll look forward to that. I think we're going to record it in January, end of December or January, and then it'll probably come out in later January. hopefully we'll be doing a back-to-back week situation where the our discussion as the three of us comes out with Becca, Taylor, and myself week one, and then week two we're gonna have Megan joining us to kind of talk about some things. So we don't want it to be a repeat, but we'll kind of discuss and see what we can take away and ask her about. So yeah, that's the plan. So if you want to look that up, it's called Try It and See by Megan Allman. How to get shit done while overanalyzing everything. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
So, do we want to dive into a question or do we want to talk about our friends at Sula?
Sula.
Sula.
It's kind of like the Ricola. Ricola.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you said it. All right. Sula's got these new pouches out. Have you finally opened yours yet or what? That's a no.
I got the I got the dirt off
You got the
it.
dirt off because it's still in the
It was,
package? Or no,
no,
you yeah,
there
you
was some
dropped it or
dirt that
something.
fell on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I got that off.
Okay. All right. I'm still taking mine to the shows. It's working out well. Um, I was taking the bigger bag to some of the shows. I'm still using the bigger bag in the studio for my soda stuff. And if I do demos somewhere, I'll generally take the big bag, but been taking the small bag for the show essentials with the tea or the energy packet, the Alani packet, or my thank you cards. Sometimes I write out my thank you cards while I'm at shows if I got downtime. Or you could maybe put a little book in there. You could put that try it and see book in there if you need to read during your downtime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I cannot wait to use mine, and I have plans, but before I use it, I want to decorate it, and then I'm gonna realize that I'm never not gonna get to decorating it. So, yeah, it's I probably should just start using it.
Yeah. The thing is, there's not so much room in there that you're gonna have a hard time emptying it out when you do just have to decorate it. So you can, it's pretty compact. So you can,
Exactly.
take everything out pretty easily.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're gonna put in it or start using it for?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it as a watercolor pouch.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, so the paper I have like a watercolor pad paper that's just the perfect size. And so I'm gonna use that. And yeah, I think that it'll be great. I also like part of me wants to take it to work, but if I take it to work, it's gonna get fucking trashed. So I probably won't.
Why would it get trashed? Is it just it's that dirty in the at work
Yeah,
that
we
it's gonna
just
get
talked about this. Yeah.
you can't even sit things on table surfaces because it's just gonna get dusty and dirty and
Yeah, it's just there's like a machine in there that we use all the time, and I like really want to clean the top of it because I'm pretty sure there's 10 years of dust on top. And it's a lot.
do you have to wear gloves when you're working to make it more efficient so
It
you don't
depends it depends on what we're working with. Like there's one box that gets your hands all black. So, yes, because if you don't wear gloves, then you're just completely black handed and
you look
and
like a
then
mechanic or something with all the oil?
yeah, and then you if you touch your face, you look like a coal miner. Uh, so, um, but yeah, like, and it depends on what you're doing, right? Like the gloves I have two pairs of gloves. One has tips, no tips, like on the fingers, so the tips are removed, and one doesn't. But like, yeah,
Okay. Probably fit your pair of gloves in your little Sula pouch. But yeah, I guess if you don't want to get dirty, it's like the new backpack feel. It's like, oh, this feels so good. I don't want to get it messy
Yeah,
yet. But you can wash it if you wanted to. So they are
it will
machine
be used.
washable.
If and like I said, if I didn't have the cutest purse possible right now, I would use it as like a purse. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a fish purse, so
Mm, okay.
you know, mm, you know, you
Yeah.
know, uh,
You know. Okay.
you know. But I love the colors that Sula has. I think they're so fun. And there's so many stinking pockets. It's hard to choose which pocket to choose. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they're so durable. You can throw them in the wash. Like even the one at work, I know that it's gonna get trashed, but I know that I can wash if I need to. So that's nice. And you can use our coupon code.
Our coupon code is Wheel Talk on Sula.co, SOOLLA.co. And, it's there's certain things that might be excluded. It looks like they still have some Black Friday sales going on right now as of December 4th, and they started doing bundles, and so there may be some exclusions depending on uh what you're buying, but use that
Yeah,
code on the website and get your discount. I think it's 15% off where it can get applied. So support them, helps us out. Anything like that you do and tag us in it, or even if you're listening to the podcast and you say, "Hey, I heard about Sula on Wheel Talk and I enjoy my Sula," even if you haven't bought it with our code, like the shout outs, all those things help because we're talking. We got to talk with new sponsors at next year, so we got to figure out who wants to continue, who doesn't want to continue, and all that kind of advertising and shout outs and all that stuff helps. So we appreciate all that. Okay. Thanks, Sula. And are we ready for a question? Are we going to alternate again, Becca?
yeah, I think so.
All right. Do you see where we left off? We're at number 8, or we could dig down to some of the other categories if you want to start anywhere. But
No, let's start with 8.
all right. 8 is, can you each share a moment this year when you felt burnt out and what actually helped it?
Okay. Uh
You're like, this month or
Or like, are
last
we
month?
talking like that? This feels like when I went to the doctor and the doctor was like, "Are you feeling pain today?" And I was like, "Do you mean like more than normal? Or
You
do
should
you
be
mean
like, when
like?"
is the last day you didn't feel pain?
And she was like, "Just any pain." And I was like, "Oh, yes." Uh,
I have to ask this
am I
question.
above 30? Okay. Can you use your moment when you felt burnout? Um, sleeping helps great. I'm not gonna say when I felt burnt out because I feel like that's obvious. But
Were you sleep? Did you sleep like
you
immediately,
know
or is
what?
it just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get a full day Saturday and that feels good. Like I
That
get it,
does
it's
feel good.
temporary.
But also, do you know what I do actually when I do get kind of burned out is I paint. I think that it's like so therapeutic to like paint because then you're not thinking about it, you're just fucking doing it. It doesn't have to look good. It's it's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, there's no pressure. You're not trying to meet a deadline or anything like that. When's the last time you painted?
Yeah. Oh, it's been a while, actually. I was gonna paint last week and I never ended up doing it because it was kind of chilly. So I got in my
I was
bed.
gonna say, it feels like you probably want to I don't know. I think it's like the getting dark earlier just doesn't make you want to do anything after it's dark. It's like, come on. Like painting under the
Yeah.
lights versus like a nice sunny day and you got a little breeze. You're not like shaking from coldness.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially in the van. I mean, like, I can turn on the diesel heater and it's fine, but yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. It's just find something that you like to do that you don't have to think about, you know? Like,
hmm
I know that seems so stupid, but they call it art therapy for a reason. You know, if you really don't care about it, you're not going to sell it, you're not going to do fucking anything with it, even though you do pottery and that's quote unquote therapeutic for most people. If you do something that's just fucking stupid and you either throw it in the trash or you just give it to a friend or whatever, or you hang it up and burn it or whatever, you should do that because it's fun and it's stupid and it will make you not think about your life and every fucking thing that's wrong with it.
Yeah. I like that the little paintings that Aletha does with her orders. She puts a little, I think that's her thank you cards. She does her little watercolor and drawings and things on it. And then she cuts them up
Yeah,
and writes some little thank you cards, and that's what she puts in her orders. I like those. Those are nice. And they're probably fun to do. Drawing though. Just drawing on an 8.5 by 11, and then you're just like, all right, we're chopping this up. This is enough for a bunch of orders. Okay.
exactly.
When I was reading this question, I think the most recent I was feeling was probably at the fall the Kentucky Guild Show when it ended up raining out and being shortened a day. So we got there. It was like a long trip on Friday because of traffic, and then set up and did the show, and then we found out that they were going to cancel Sunday, but we found out Saturday. So it was kind of nice to get that extra day to just kind of like
Mm-hmm.
do whatever. And that was because I'm kind of prepping my show recap for that event right now that I'm gonna post. And it was my seventh show out of 10 weekends. So it was like a lot of really busy shows. And then that one was a slower show, but I think it came at the right time so that I can kind of, sleep in a little bit on that Sunday and take our time to get back and have breakfast with Rachel at our, wherever we went locally in Berea. And it was still a rainy day, but, take a little time to just slow down. And then I ended up getting back home. And I didn't like sleep when I got home, but I got back home and like worked in the studio a little bit, took my time, kind of like, eased into it. Um, because sometimes like a Sunday with nothing on the calendar and just having flexibility to just do whatever, I really love that studio time. Probably the most out of any time I get in the studio. So, I would say that. And if it's just like generally, I don't, I generally don't feel burnt out anyways. And I wonder if doing my
Yeah.
frequent walks during the week when I go to the post office, I think that is my like cool down period when I can kind of like ease my mind a little bit. A lot of times I'm listening to a podcast or I'm listening to friends like audio messages and I'm trying to reply to those and catch up on that. But I think that generally helps me on a daily basis to just spend 30 minutes. I go to the post office, I drop my packages, and then I make an extra little walk down a couple streets to get kind of a full like 30-minute walk in or whatever. And I think that generally helps me on a daily basis when I can. I mean, it's not as enjoyable during the cold, but it's fine. It's still getting outside and
Right. It's fine.
getting a little sunshine. Hopefully, there's less sunshine these days, but gets me outside, which I think is a good thing to get. Otherwise, I wouldn't really have a reason to leave the house. So,
Yeah. Gotta leave the house.
hmm Okay, you want to ask the next one here?
Oh, yes. What's a purchase in parentheses equipment tool software workshop that meaningfully improved your workflow. You know what? Pause. I feel like ChatGPT could have rephrased that sentence to not sound terrible. Like that
Like,
meaningfully improved your workflow. Why
what's a
not?
purchase that
That was
meaningfully improved your work?
meaningful. That was
Improve.
meaningful for improving your workflow. Come on, ChatGPT.
All right.
Anyway, moving on. Um,
What's a
Ryan.
purchase that was meaningful in improving your workflow?
I got mine.
Go ahead.
Okay, Hurdler.
Hurdler. Okay.
The it's an app and I don't know if I can actually get any money from you guys, but anyway, it's an app that tracks your expenses. Um,
Should I
I
tell
think
you, or should I only
I
tell you if I
can't
can get money from it?
this is also directly a conflict of Ryan's workshops. But if you are like me and you're not gonna ever actually manually input anything, Hurdler was really nice as kind of a go-between between QuickBooks and spreadsheet. So I've used it for 5 years, and it tracks your mileage just with your GPS in the phone, and then it also takes in your income and also tracks your expenses. And all you do is like swipe left or right on whether you want it to go to business or personal, and it is amazing. It's just so fucking easy, and I highly recommend it. It's HURDLR. Um, let me see.
HURDLR.
Is it still in here? It is. HURDLR. So, yeah. And I mean, like, I would give you a coupon code or whatever the fuck that is. Like, they were like, share this with your friends. But I don't foresee myself needing it in the next couple of years. So, um, yeah, that is
Hmm.
my answer.
Okay, I had to think about this because I don't use a lot of other. Well, I mean, I guess if we're talking recently, I mean, I'd say ChatGPT, honestly.
But
But
yeah,
I was
honestly, truly.
seriously, I mean, the amount of the amount of time it saved me by just learning how to use it, especially with the podcast, using it for most of the podcast descriptions and titles, giving me some ideas. I get it to some extent. You could be like, well, it's dumbing you down a little bit because it's removing you from having to think about all the different things that you could probably come up with yourself. But like the amount of mental energy I use on a daily basis, like I think I can give up some of that to a third party that can help me out. So, um,
Yeah.
I would say that it's helped me with making email campaigns easier. I've used it sometimes with like captions and things, but the amount of like I emoticons it puts in there is kind of like makes it obvious that that's where you're getting it from, and it kind of I think it makes it a little less authentic because they're like, oh, they used AI to help with writing that. But I think that's my best answer right now. Otherwise, I was trying to come up with like, oh, I use this app that I capture photos of my receipts and put them in folders and it saves them digitally so I can organize my business books a little easier that way so I don't have to like thumb through receipts and stuff. But I feel like that's not as impactful as ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
that's my answer for now.
I wonder, like, yeah, I wonder if you'll get to a point where you have to pay for it.
I was actually talking with Jody about that. I think I probably will pay for it at the end of the year. I'm still on the free version. I feel like the amount that like business expense $20 a month, would I get $20 of value per month out of it? Like I think I definitely would.
You already get like $35,000 of value out of it.
Yeah,
Like,
like very worth it. Uh
yeah.
and I'm like the limitations for me now is it'll stop using a certain version of the what is it? The language model. It'll use like the 5.0 model for a certain number of queries per day, and
Oh,
that
you mean
resets.
like it'll say that meaningfully improved your workflow?
No, no. And then it's like, hey, we're out of memory for, because like the memory side of it allows it to tie back to other things that you've asked before. So it has more
Oh yeah.
context of you and your business and the things that you've kind of like trained it on what you're expecting and what it knows about you. So that kind of information helps it give you better answers in the future. And you can,
Yeah.
save chats and all of that. So you can kind of like silo certain discussions that you're having or whatever. So yeah, I think I'll probably end up paying for it by the end of the year. And I think it had a little promo code or something at some point that I could have got a free month, but yeah, definitely. And we'll talk about that more at the AI and ceramics panel at ClayCon West uh to hear more about what other people are using it for. But I'll definitely be talking about that and we'll see what the other folks have to share about. And then hopefully I'd love to have a panel on the podcast at some point next year with some people. I've kind of been thinking about some ideas of how it could be interesting to go about it with kind of a pro and an anti side of it and hear everybody out that are interested in talking about it. So, uh, yeah. All right, we ready for the next one?
I am.
All right. The next one
Maybe this podcast will be like 0 minutes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
you both balance making with real life, jobs, partners, family, etc. What boundary or habit has helped the most? Yeah, that's a horribly worded question too.
Yeah, these are terrible.
You
Like,
the first ones were better. You both balance making with
comma,
a real life,
with real life.
with
There
your
is no
real
comma.
life, including jobs, partners, family, etc. What boundary or habit has helped the most with this balancing is probably what it's trying to like balancing this.
Mm.
I don't know.
For me, it's setting specific times, like to do stuff.
Hmm. Are they always set times week to week, or is it communicating
No,
those times with?
like communicating, but also having like this is a really small like not version, but example
Example.
of that. Right now I'm not doing a lot of pottery, but I do have a friend that really wants to learn pottery and she's like totally hooked and she has a membership here at our warehouse. And so every Saturday at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, we have craft night. And she hand builds stuff and makes stuff for her friends and family. And I have like scheduled that into my life, you know?
Mm,
So and that's kind of like the opposite. It's like actually doing stuff instead of not doing stuff. But I think that like having things that are repetitive is helpful for me.
okay. Yeah, I was thinking about this, I was kind of obviously there are certain time slots that I have like dedicated to certain commitments with meetings and the podcast and all that, but I think just setting aside that having the meal kit that comes to our house that's 3 days a week, we kind of have to decide that there's 2 or 3 days that Rachel and I are going to make dinner together. It's kind of fallen off a little bit the last month or so with me contributing as much to the making, but I think setting aside those times of we have to make them or the food's going to go bad. So like
Mm,
it's better for us to do this together. And it's enjoyable thing. Like sure, we both don't really enjoy making food that much, but if we're going to do it, we can dedicate 30 minutes to it and listen to a record and it's not that bad, like honestly. And it's like better
right.
food than just making a Totino's pizza, which is what we had last night. So
Okay, but Totino's, a square pizza? Are you fucking kidding me? The shit? Okay, you
cardboard
fucking kidding
pizza,
me?
yes.
Cardboard pizza, immediate yes. Okay.
So I would say that the other kind of area I was kind of going with this was because there's so much balancing of business and family and the schedule is very packed. I think the through line across all of it is we can get, at least I get bogged down into my phone a lot
Mm-hmm.
and escaping into the phone for periods of time. And I think just setting the boundary of I'm putting this on do not disturb or focus, even if it's on do not disturb, and just putting it physically out of my sight. Like I was charging it and putting it behind my laptop so I couldn't actually see it, even though it's not going to be buzzing and all that stuff. Like minimizing the amount of notifications and like the temptation to grab it and escape
Right.
into it for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever. I think that it's still hard to do. I mean, some days
But
I get into it and I just can't stop grabbing it. And I'm like, there's nothing that I have to get done for work or whatever right now. So I like get tempted to just go grab it and grab it and grab it. And it's like, this is not good for me. But what do I, So I still have like time limits and stuff on the apps, but it's still difficult.
yeah, I think that you honestly, I've actually noticed an improvement on that. Um, Funny story. You know what? I feel like we as a pair, we don't like represent what we actually do very often. Like for instance, you're always late, I'm always on time. Um, uh, you talk more than I do. Uh, and you answer your phone much quicker than I do. And I've noticed over the past couple of months and maybe a year that
You're talking about phone calls? I feel like I never like getting phone calls. Is that what you're talking about? Or you're
no,
talking
no,
about
no, no.
just
I'm talking about just generally responding. Like
mm.
in the past, before this year, I feel like every time I called you or texted you, it was like an immediate response. And now it's more of like a slower response. And I love that for you. I
Mm.
think that that's really healthy. You know, like he has his Instagram notifications on, and I've had mine off for like 10 years. So, so like I only answer my messages like in the morning and at night. So, like,
Mm.
yeah, like I feel like that is really healthy for you, and it's been good to see. You know what I'm saying? And also
Hmm.
the food, I think that's awesome. I've definitely noticed an improvement. Not an improvement, but like, well, I mean, you made me the best steak I've ever had, um, uh, but like, yeah, just like the stopping and eating and spending time, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I feel like we've pretty much, even if we make shit food, we pretty much always sit down here. Lately we've been sitting on the couch and watch Home Improvement. We're almost to the end of that season or the series. So we've been watching that for the longest time and then we'll figure out what the next series that we're gonna watch is, but that's kind of how we spend our dinners together. So
Yeah,
it's just a quick like, oh, are we gonna watch this 20 or 30-minute episode? Or are we gonna watch two of them? You know? Okay, and then I can get back in the studio because usually we're done by like 9 or something or 9:30, and I've still got 2.5 or so hours in the studio that I'm usually working on something, and I don't feel like, oh, I need all of that time, and I can't afford to go eat dinner or make dinner. Like,
right.
no, that's good. That's good to like do that stuff. So,
Yeah. P.S. I didn't want to bash Ryan there by saying he was always late, but it is funny that you are more like type A, but you're a little bit more late, and I'm like way off the fucking rails, and I'm always on time. So
yeah, I do tend
it
to,
is
well,
it,
so, I mean,
it is
sometimes I'm also
funny.
like on time and then you'll be like, I need 10 minutes and I'll be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, like
Because I can't
if
be
I'm
like, come
late,
on, because I'm always like a minute or two late. So
yeah, if I'm late, it is with acknowledgement. I will be
yeah,
like, hey, like there's heads up.
I feel
This is what's
yeah, I
happening.
feel like normally I'm pretty much always gonna show up. I'm not gonna completely forget about it, but I might be within like 1 to 5 minutes late,
Right.
maybe. Or
Yeah.
right at the time and they're like, "Are you gonna be here?" And I show up. It's not like,
Right.
"Oh shit, I completely forgot." That usually
There's
doesn't happen.
yeah, there's definitely been texts that were like, you live? You coming?
Yeah. I've done that with workshops with Sephora before. I show up like a minute or two before and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I was so freaked out, worried. There's people waiting in the lobby and you're not here yet." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm here. I'm here."
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
But
No, but I do love that about personalities where there's always something that's just a little bit different, you know?
mhm.
Makes
Yeah.
us good. It makes us good as humans.
Right.
Um, okay, I will read the next. Yes. What's something you've changed your mind about after hearing from Wheel Talk listeners?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think some of it is hearing negative comments about feeling like they're too long of episodes. So getting to the point a little quicker with the intros, I think has definitely usually we're like, oh, it's whatever. But I think it helps us to be a little bit more concise with it and have and trim it down a little bit
Mm.
to be conscious of our time and the listener's time. I'm definitely
Yeah.
more conscious of that the last year or so for sure. And also, um, yeah, I don't know. I think there's some listen to some interviews with different people. I think the concise answers can leave room for the listener to kind of make a little bit of
Mm.
like putting the dots together in their mind rather than spelling everything out. And I struggle with not going completely in depth on everything. But
As
that's
we
a
both
skill to
do.
learn.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
I would say that is kind of what came to my mind initially.
Hmm.
Because some podcasts I listen to and I'm like, you should go longer. Like, oh, I don't go as long because I don't want to edit as much. And I'm like, you should go longer because people want to hear long episodes. They want to hear the rawness and get in depth on things. And then I'm like, and then I'm
Yeah.
going the opposite way. I'm trimming them down a little bit. But usually those are you and I that I feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also we've been doing it for such a long time. People have got to be fucking tired of us at some point. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like this one is like drawn up a blank because I would love to say that when people give us like critiques, I listen. Um, but I don't. So, no, I mean like I do sometimes, but for the most part, just because of the nature of the critiques pointed at me, uh I usually am like, fuck you. I
Develops a
will
pretty
be
thick skin, and you're like, hey, there's plenty of people
yeah.
you can listen to out there. You don't have to listen to me.
Yeah, like so what's so funny, I was just sharing something with somebody about like the our email from Alfred or whatever his name, Albert, who told me to eat a salad. Um and but yeah, like I think that uh I'm not really answering the question, but I think that because of the nature of who I am and what I give to this podcast, which is I'm the Jar Jar Binks to your Obi-Wan Kenobi. Um, uh, Whenever people like criticize something or say something about me not taking something seriously or whatever, I just double down. So, that's not gonna work for me. But, uh, I do feel, I will say this. Um, and this is more maybe on the more vulnerable side, but I think that when we first started the podcast, I would share pretty much everything and be like super vulnerable and open. And as time has passed and people that listen have met me in person and like had conversations with me in person and or on Instagram, I have pulled back a lot on what happens in my life, and I keep it pretty like to cats and like pottery. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot less of my like personal life just because uh even though I do love hearing from people that feel like they know me really well, um it does kind of like wear on you sometimes
Mm.
to like get questions that you'd never thought that you'd have to answer or that you would get from somebody you have no clue who they are, you know?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that I don't enjoy the questions and I don't enjoy people like keeping up in my life. I do, but it definitely has like lessened over time.
Yeah, I think it's not natural for anybody to be able to handle that. Like social media, the amount of information and people and communication going on and conversations and like all the discussion, like I don't think
Yeah,
anybody's made out like able to actually digest all of it.
right.
There's enough to figure out in your own head what you want to be doing and how you spend your time and analyzing with people that you know and the people immediately impacted by your decisions or whatever and who you need to work with and go about your day to day, much less like all these people on the internet or in your life that maybe are acquaintances or feel like they know you really well and ask you questions.
Yeah.
Like it's very taxing.
Yeah, but also it's very fulfilling, and I do feel like that needs to be said as well. It's very fulfilling that people feel comfortable enough to reach out about certain things, you know?
Mhm.
Um, so it's super fulfilling, but also at the same time learning what to maybe filter, you know, has
Mhm.
been hard for me because I don't fucking have one. So, so yeah, yeah, and also hugs. Short answer, hugs.
Ask before you get a hug. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. And I
Or
have also changed how I approach people when I give hugs. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
All right. Next question is what's a big dream or experiment you're considering but haven't talked about publicly yet? Oh, this is kind of getting onto the, well, I guess it could be business or personal or whatever, but
Yeah. I've got mine. Do you have yours?
no.
You want to think? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if I've said like I do have a big idea that I'm not going to actually say. I think I have talked about it, but one thing that I have been considering recently is that my car, my van, which by the way is currently dead, the battery died. Um, but it's okay because
Really?
it doesn't move right now. Yeah, I think the lights turning on and off every time you get in the car killed it. I haven't driven it for a while.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, my car, my van has about $13,000 left on the loan. And
Oh, that's a good. That's not as bad. I feel like it had like 26 recently. I feel like that's not too bad.
yeah, so I pay about
You're paying it pretty good.
$850 a month towards my loan. And I reached out to my parents this last year and asked my dad if he would want to take over the loan so that I was paying them instead of a bank, uh, just to kind of maybe reduce my anxiety about paying it off during this whole transitioning of jobs and stuff like that. My parents are financially able to do that. I've been very blessed that they are very smart with their money. And so I've been lucky to be able to go get loans from them as opposed to banks sometimes. Um, and I always say that I'll pay interest, and then my dad always negotiates an interest, and then my mom looks at my dad and says, "We're not letting our children pay fucking interest." So, that happens every single time. Um, yeah, me and my dad had talked about paying him back at a 5% interest rate, and then my mom butted in and was like, "No, my children are not paying interest." And so anyway, they're taking over that loan, and it should be about $13,000 in January. And I was considering maybe doing like one last final push by like making a bunch of stuff and seeing if I could sell all of it to pay off the loan in like 2 months. And
2 months from
uh
now,
like no,
or over
no,
2 months once you announce it.
over 2 months once I get all the stuff.
Okay.
And um and then I wouldn't have any debt.
Hmm.
So I'm considering that. I'm not quite there mentally to be able to make that much stuff
Mm-hmm.
and do it.
I
But
think it's always nice when you see somebody have a big goal like that, and then you can
yeah,
see it visually of this is how far we are to our goal.
yeah.
And I
So
think people want to contribute, and it's nice
I
to.
agree. I agree. I want to do it. I just haven't figured out what product I want to make for it and how I want to achieve it. And because shipping sucks. Um, but yeah, I don't know exactly how I want to do it. So, and also I am a little bit skeptical about saying this because I have a tendency when I talk about something, it never fucking happens. So, um, yeah,
So do you want people to ask you about it to kind of make you accountable, or so
I
you want
would
that?
prefer not actually.
Don't don't mention you ever heard this. This is just
Yeah.
Becca being vulnerable and sharing something with you. Don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, because listen, when I made those fucking warped mugs and I said I would sell them, I've made them and I haven't sold any of them. So, they've been done for like a month. Um, so, and people are like, "When are you gonna sell them?" And I'm like, "Never." Uh,
You're like, I love them too much.
I don't even love them too much. I just don't want to sell them. I don't want to go through the whole shit of selling it. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, what did you come
All
up with?
right. I have a couple options, but I'm gonna go with the safer option because I don't want to jinx the one option, which is close to
Oh,
becoming
yes.
something.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna jinx that. So, and I'm not really a jinx person, but Rachel's kind of a jinx person. But
Yes, you fucking are. Yes, you are.
I mean, I'm a creature of habit, but I'm not. When I say something, Rachel's like, "Come on, you're gonna ruin this," or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, "All right,
No,
roll
but
my
you
eyes."
do feel you are one of those type people like you won't look at any of your sales before the end of the day because you think you're gonna jinx it.
Oh, I
Like,
don't think that's superstition. I think that's just I want to be even keeled and I don't want anything to impact my mood. I don't know. Is that
right.
superstition or is that
Yeah, I think it is.
okay? Yeah, yeah. Superstition, habit, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so mine, I've been getting into slip casting more this year. Ashley's been helping out with getting consistency with our molds, and we've got ramekins and cocktail cups, cocktail glasses so far. Um, Planning to have her get some bowl molds made, and that'll hopefully help us get another form slip cast, like single piece mold, and just kind of building that consistency of a line of product that's not wheel thrown that can be kind of hands off for me, and then um, I can hopefully build some inventory of that work. I don't know exactly if it's going to be the most sellable stuff, but I hope that that can get to a point where it's taken some time and load off of me to hopefully kind of run itself, hopefully have some income. Maybe it's a Etsy listing kind of thing where we sell the things and get them out the door, and I don't have to do too much work on them, and then it kind of runs itself. And there's also a potential for uh, maybe getting into candles a little bit next year. Rachel kind of wants to help with this
Mm.
thing. So we have a friend that will possibly be selling her candle business things to us, and I think the slipcast work would complement the candle situation. So I
Mm-hmm.
think we might lean into that a little bit next year. We'll kind of see how the timing works and what the hurdles are for that. But I don't know. I think the easing in, I feel like I was walking into very shallow waters with the slip casting, and I feel like it's worked out pretty well so far. I don't know exactly. I know the raw materials for the China clay is expensive as shit, so I'm not exactly sure how much the costs are per piece. I should probably do more of that analysis to understand what costs I'm looking at. Plus, it's a little different. I'm like, do I price things differently because I'm not having to touch them and an assistant is doing most of the work? They're slip casting, they did the molds, they're cleaning them up, they're stamping them and putting them on the shelf. Like, is that work valued lower than if I were putting my hands on the pieces? So that's kind of a interesting uh, thought experiment. Plus, I'm like, are they so simple that people like think of them differently, or I don't know. So kind of dipping my toe in there. It's not, I'm not changing my whole process of slip casting or anything, but it's something that I think will be a bigger part of the business next year, and hopefully kind of, be maybe it's like 5 or 10% of the inventory or something like that. But I think it's gonna be good foundation work for the future. So I'll go with that for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Also, going
that's
through
good.
slip takes, there's a lot. You can go through slip very quickly. Like we're having to like uh mix more up very quickly in the amount that we use, and the cleanup fucking sucks because there's just so much scrap everywhere, and like drying it out to bone dry so that you can reclaim it like sucks. Um so it feels like there's a lot of waste there, even though there's not much you're trimming off, but I don't know, it's just kind of a little different, a little harder to control the recycling process, I think.
Yeah, I will never go to slip casting. I did it a little bit with the bowls this last summer, but especially when it comes to the humidity in North Carolina, fuck that shit. So, yeah, never doing that again. Mm-mm.
Is there anybody that you know there that slipcast, or does anybody slipcast in the studio that you're at?
No.
No.
But James has been like I gave him my slip that I was slip casting with. James has been kind of trying it out, but he got a bunch of molds and he wants to kind of like try it out, but
Mm,
we're very amateur.
yeah. They're pretty
Yeah.
fun. I don't think I'll be
It is
buying
fun.
molds or anything, but it is pretty fun.
It is
Just
fun.
the
Yeah.
But it's not I think some people think you can just uh multitask with it, you're not spending that much time getting something done when you pour the slip in the mold and then you're waiting for 25 minutes. Like, sure, you can get stuff done, but like you're having to babysit this thing. Like it's not a good process to just be like, I'm just gonna multitask and go throw something for 20 minutes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not efficient in that for me, at least, with the amount
Yeah.
of context switching I'm used to, and like it's you can't really get into a groove if you're doing a process like that.
Right.
Unless you're doing a bunch of molds. If you had a bunch of molds and you were able to kind of go from one to the next and do that, I think that could be maybe more useful or more
Yeah.
streamlined, but it's more difficult than, it might seem. But yeah, we're figuring it out.
For sure. Yeah. That's awesome.
All right, there is one thing that I'm potentially gonna have to play around with, and that could be I might need to bisque things at a different temperature. And if I need to, because I don't have that much inventory, I could bisque them in the little plug and fire kiln.
Mm.
And because the porcelain is not always some of the glazes run a little bit more on the porcelain than it does on my stoneware. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
the absorption is a little bit too much on those, but if I need to bisque them a little differently, I'm considering, oh, let's try instead of bisquing them to 08, maybe bisquing them a little hotter in the little kiln and do some experiments and see if it works a little better. So I might do that with a set pretty soon actually because I want to see if that makes a difference. Because I think watering down the glazes, I don't know if that's going to be as feasible, but we'll see.
Right. Yeah. Twee, my friend Twee, she is the one learning pottery, and she was like, I have Christmas presents because I accidentally dropped one of her little dishes that she's making. She's like, I have Christmas presents to do, and I was like, it's fine. You just if you need to make some more, you make some more, and we fire it and super quick. It's fine. Like,
Mm.
and I was like, we have the tiny kiln. We are invincible. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I was loading a bisque kiln a week or two ago, and I forgot that I had too much to fill in that kiln, and I put the rest in the baby kiln, the plug-in fire, and I shut it and put the controller back on top, and I fired the bigger kiln, and then I actually forgot that I had filled that already. And I was like, wait, let me look at this because I feel like I did something with this. And I just had a bunch of greenware sitting in there and I just like, plugged it up and started it. And I was like, oh, okay, sweet. So I ended up restocking some. I think I fit like 12 or let's see, two, four, I think I fit like 10 or so little espresso cups in there, the espresso mugs, and 5 spoon rests in a bisque kiln. So
Nice.
nice little piled on batch of pots in there. So I've definitely packed them pretty full with shot glasses and other items, but yeah, you can pack a lot in there, especially if it's a bisque.
You can. You certainly can. And you can just brush it out if anything explodes.
Yeah, vacuum it, pick it up. You don't have to. It doesn't have the clamps and stuff on it, so you can just pick up the bigger section, the top section and middle section from the bottom, and just vacuum it out or
Yeah,
clean it off. Hopefully, you don't have any glaze drips or anything on there, and you clean that off without having to dig down in the bottom of the kiln.
exactly. It's like the perfect fucking kiln.
Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't need to be
Thank you.
vented.
Next.
Doesn't need to be vented. I
No,
got sometimes I hook my vents already running from another kiln that's cooling or whatever, and it's like nice to have it right there by that one. But it doesn't put off that much heat actually, like around it.
it
I notice
doesn't.
it's
It
not
doesn't.
too bad, so pretty
You know, I should take it. I should put my kiln right in the middle of my fucking van and just run an extension cord, which you're not supposed to do, by the way. You should not do it on an extension cord. And that would just heat the van. That
you
would be
need, or
a
you just hook it up to your power bank and then but you can't open it. It's got a safety mechanism where it'll shut off. The elements will shut off if you open it. So
Not if you take the
r
lid off.
rig it.
Yeah.
If you take the
Uh,
lid off so it doesn't hit the little mechanism.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's what I should do. Um, so Ryan, where can you go to see all of the fucking cool ass kilns that L&L has?
Highkilns.com.
Da-da-da! Yeah, he did a beautiful job. Beautiful job. You're on key.
Thank
Perfect.
you. All right. Do you want to pick, or is it my turn? I'm gonna pick one of these from
The extras, the personal.
the
Oh
personal
yeah.
series. There's personal, serious, business focused, and technical.
I would like, can we pick our own out of these
Oh, like
eight?
one of us. Oh, yeah. Why don't you pick one?
I'll pick one for me, and you pick one for you.
Hmm.
Is that okay? Or do you want to pick
Yeah,
one
that's.
for me?
Oh, I mean, yeah. You pick. I mean, you pick yours, and then if I want to answer it, I can answer it.
Okay. Well, I was just, yeah, because we only have 15 minutes left. But anyway, okay. I want to do the um oh shit. Which one in the personal should I do, one or two?
I feel like two would be more. Well, I was gonna ask one for me. So why don't you do? I mean, why don't we do both of them? I don't.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. Okay, Ryan. What's one insecurity you still carry as an artist, even at this stage of your career?
That my business savvy is stronger than my actual art skills, and that I'm not
Mm,
growing as an artist as fast as my business skills are. But,
mm,
I don't know that I think that's more, it affects me. It's going to affect me personally more so than how successful the business can be. I don't know that if it was the other way around, if my art was accelerating faster than my business was, that I could keep doing art longer. But I think it kind of stagnates me by not feeling like, and I think part of that also um goes into shows and things like that. Like, are there shows that I can't get into or wouldn't be able to get into because I'm limited by my artistic abilities, even though I would probably do well selling at that show and better than a lot of other artists that are at that show because I'm good at selling. But am I limited by my actual craft and the work that I produce
mm.
to get into those shows? I think that kind of goes together.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you want to answer
I
do you want me to ask you the second one, or did you want to answer that one as well?
no, I'll do the second one. That's fine.
Okay, so the second one is, when you think about your identity outside of clay, what part of yourself do you feel gets overlooked the most?
Um, when I think about my identity outside of clay, what part of yourself do you feel gets overlooked the most? I I feel like people don't think I'm smart. Like like inside clay, if you ask me any question, I could probably answer it, right?
Hmm.
And outside of clay, what I've noticed I think what I've noticed is that I have a fair amount of respect inside of clay, you know? And then when you go outside of clay, it's such a niche world that when you go outside of clay, people don't have any clue that you have a certain subset of of intelligence that
Mm,
like that is applicable to a lot of things, you know?
hmm
Um, and so they assume that you don't know certain things when in fact, like a lot of the stuff that we do in clay makes us really good for certain things, like mechanical type things. You know, we
hmm
have to fix things, we have to do certain things, so that way we know how to do certain things. And like, um, on top of that, people don't know that I can teach and train, and that applies to everything, you know, because once you know how to teach and train somebody, you know how to teach and train somebody in anything if you know how to do it. And um and so I yeah, it's been interesting moving into the real world and being pushed down to like quote unquote an F status when I personally feel like I'm more of like at a B status. You know what I'm saying?
hmm Is some of
Um,
that like you feel like you're undervalued for like you're not paid as much as you should be paid because your skill is
it's not
higher
even
than it is? Or is it
no, it's not
more,
even about being paid. It's more about like people expecting people to be dumb immediately.
oh, okay.
It's more that. It's more that like when they ask you a question, they don't expect you to know the answer. And that applies to everybody, right? I've noticed that like if if somebody has a certain pay grade, they think you're a certain intelligence grade. And um that's been a really interesting experiment this year.
Are do you feel like you are the common employee with your peers at the intelligence that you're at? Or are
Mm,
you an outlier?
I'm definitely an outlier. I would not say because of my intelligence, but because of my education and my yearning to learn.
Mm, okay.
So I think that there are definitely people that work with me that are fucking smart as shit, you know,
Mm,
but they maybe didn't have the privilege to have certain education and they and or they maybe don't speak the same language. Um and stuff like that. But like, I know for a fact that like people, I'm thinking of one person particularly who thinks that because they work in production, they are lesser. And
mhm,
that is a weird, that's weird. And I don't like that. And I feel like that just because of the situation you're in, you get overlooked just because of
mhm,
where you are.
mhm. That you're, yeah, you're only capable of doing what that role is capable of, or what people have historically been able to do in your role. So they don't
Right.
expect anything more of you or think
Correct.
that you're capable. Yeah.
Correct.
Well, it kind of,
So, oh, go
yeah.
on.
And some of it, it's difficult because you're like, how much do you expect from someone? Do you expect that they're going to know a certain amount and then you just feel them out? But then do you leave them feeling like they're dumb if they say they don't know what you're talking about? Or do you go in thinking they don't know anything and then you kind of like are pleasantly surprised when they do know something?
Right.
So it's kind of a fine line of just understanding who is around you and what skills they have
Right.
and don't have and how you need to communicate with them.
Correct.
Because I would
I
guess it would
also,
probably be pretty embarrassing if you're saying if they're saying something to you and you're like, "Oh, I'm in this role. Like, should I know that?"
right.
And then you don't feel confident in like asking questions. But if there's like a culture of,
Correct.
"Oh, like we want you to ask questions. I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
through this. This is, what I've how I've taught it. If it doesn't make sense to you, please ask questions or if I'm going too slow, please tell me and I can pick
Right.
it up.
And I will say this is not like this is something that I've worked on for a really long time, and I'm still not perfect at it, but I do feel like I'm so much better. And it was just one video that really kind of like put it in my brain or something. I don't even remember what it was. But and I feel like people can really apply this to their life and it makes people way more comfortable around you. Uh the thing that I try to do with people that maybe don't know as much as me or don't know the specific things that I do, I never I never like scoff at what they don't know. And you're like when I say that you probably think like, "Oh yeah, obviously." But there's so many things in our lives that uh it's just a quick thing like, "Oh, Ryan, have you?" And I mean, I do this to you because you're one of my best friends, but I'm talking about like random people. But like,
Hmm.
"Hey, Ryan, have you seen Star Wars?" And you say no.
No.
And then
Or
I would
Lord
be
of the
like,
Rings or whatever.
or
Because
Lord
I
of the
haven't
Rings,
seen
and
I
I'd be
haven't seen
like,
Lord of the Rings.
and the typical atypical response is, "Oh my fucking God, I cannot believe you haven't seen that. You have to see it immediately." But instead, in the wild, it has I would say, "Oh, that's so interesting. I really think you would love it." And these are the reasons why.
Hmm.
Instead of demonizing them for not watching something that everybody has watched, you you come at it with a positive, something positive,
Hmm.
and you explain it to them in a way that's like, oh, this it's actually a great movie. If you ever get the chance, you should watch it. You know, and
Yeah.
being that person in a setting that is public in like a work setting or something like that makes you so much more approachable, and people are willing to go to you and ask you questions that are dumb to the like quote unquote dumb questions that aren't dumb, obviously. But yeah, anyway, I don't know why I said that,
Yeah, I
but
would yeah, I mean I would much rather feel like there's room to ask questions.
mm-hmm,
Even if because sometimes I ask questions that like I just want to see if there's something else that somebody else is
right,
how they under interpret it different than I would.
yeah,
Or and it doesn't even have to sometimes I'm asking it to ask it out loud, not necessarily like I want the answer from you. I expect you to have the answer. I'm just asking it as in like, well, why would they
yeah,
do that or whatever? And I'm like, no, I'm
yeah,
just trying to understand if I was in their situation and had their experience or their background like this, not knowing, watching Lord of the Rings, like, what generation are you? Were you a reader when you were a kid? Were you a nerd when you were a kid? Are you still a nerd?
right,
Do you like watching movies? Are you into
right,
fantasy? Like, did you hang around other people that liked that stuff? I mean, like I didn't really have a lot of those. So, it kind of makes sense. It's like, why would they not have sought that out? It's like,
yeah.
you know,
And nobody needs to be made fun of for something that they haven't done, you
yeah,
know? And I oh, the vole has entered the fucking building.
there's a vole in the van.
There's a vole in the van.
Oh no.
He
How did
is
it get up there? Jeez.
DED dead. Okay,
Oh, the cat
oh
brought it in.
no,
Okay.
Tammy, no. Hold on. I gotta get it out. Um, ah,
Tammy.
Tammy. Well, I
Not even
guess
Tammy.
Tammy's the hunter.
Okay.
Um, all right. So, as I grab the dead vole, uh, we'll
I
probably
I was
end
looking
this.
I wanted to answer that question because I was looking at that question yesterday or 2 days ago when I saw it.
Yeah.
Um, I think my answer to this, when you think about your identity outside of Clay, what part of yourself feel do you feel gets overlooked the most? Probably that I'm not all serious all the time. I feel like
Oh my God, yes.
the perception of me, and I don't even think people have told me this, but I just get the feeling that there's a perception that I'm serious all the time and I'm all business all the time,
Right.
but I'm not. Um, I'm
No, you're
also
not.
not like a robot, but there's
He
things.
also cusses like a sailor if given the chance.
But like, generally I am pretty serious and do want to like understand the people and world around me. So like I do generally take that stuff pretty seriously, but I also like to, go to tiki bars and like Rachel and I go to like burlesque shows and we like to have friends over for a tiki party and like I say voices to Rachel and like joke with her and
And
whatever. So
he sings like 2000s like hit songs in his studio.
like yeah, I feel like that was my answer to that one
That
because
was a
I
good answer.
yeah.
Definitely a good
But
answer.
yeah, it depends on who if I'm comfortable with you or not to
Mm. Yeah, he's got to be extra
show that.
comfy.
But yeah, like at a show and stuff, espe- especially in public, like even I'm pretty like I don't know if this is growing up. I'm more of a I want to be quiet and like non interruptive and things. I don't want to like grab attention. If I'm out in public, like I'm not gonna like shout. I'm not
Right.
gonna like Becca can do that sometimes when we're like at dinner or something goes on and I'm like I could never do that because I don't want the
Yeah,
attention.
that's
I don't
true.
want somebody to like over and like look at me like what the fuck are they doing? Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I won't even generally talk on the phone out in public because I'm worried that somebody's gonna hear me say something that they're not gonna get the context of and they're gonna judge me based on something that's said with a private conversation of me and somebody on the phone or you know, I'm not going to be talking with them directly, so I don't want somebody else to take something wrong that I said. So like I want to be pretty, in the right comfortable space so that I feel good to like um I guess have the space to just talk about whatever we're talking about and not um I don't know, not be self-conscious of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah, it is true. Ryan has this voice that he goes he'll be like, "Oh, yes, 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 yes." Like, and it's a higher voice and he's talking to his cats too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And and
I'll just walk in the room
um
and call the cats out.
yeah. And he's got the little baby voice for the cats.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you are definitely a different persona outside of business.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's controlled. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. So, and then sometimes like you see people doing funny like acting things on social media and I'm like I'm not no,
Mm.
I'm no. No.
You just save that for the people that are closest to you. And I think that actually
Yeah.
it's kind of like special, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you've heard that, you're a special one.
You're a special one.
All right. Well, Becca's got to get a shower tonight, so we are departing.
We're
And thank
departing.
you all for listening. We are getting near the end of the year, so hopefully you've had a good year so far. And get some time to relax. I'm probably going to spend some time getting some things done around the studio that I need to get done with not making and getting ready to get those recap kind of videos and stuff going on for the I didn't do one last year, so I feel like I want to do one this year for recapping the year.
Oh,
Um,
geez.
I kind of I was like seeing all these numbers people are documenting, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that, and then I just never did it. I feel like making it bite size and just doing it bits at a time over a week or two
Yeah.
would make more sense than just doing all the things for one post. It's so much work. And I saw Andrew just posted his for the
Yeah.
year, and it's the beginning of December. I was like, there's still a month left. I could never.
He's following on Spotify Wraps situation.
Oh,
So
right. Yeah. It's
yeah.
like I could never. I'm like, is his fiscal year done at the end of November? No.
There is.
So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Let me know or let us know if you enjoyed it. If you have
Yeah.
criticisms for us, maybe keep those to yourself or no, I'm just kidding.
Or tell us. It's fine.
Or tell
Also,
us.
tell us if you want more of these because these were really low effort on our part.
Yeah, I
So
like them a lot. There's still a
I
few
did
on here
too.
that maybe we'll dig into in a bit that
Yeah.
are in the list. So, yeah, these were fun.
Yeah. Cool.
But
All right.
yeah, thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Whale Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.